All right, welcome back to a very Merry Christmas edition of the Dirty Verdict podcast. I am one of your hosts, Peter Taff.
I'm Kyle Herbert, your full-time litigator. Happy to be here.
And I'm Bill Ogden, 3/4 time litigator. Also happy to be here. Happier than Kyle to be here.
And of course, as always, we are joined behind the camera by Amanda Orr and Josh Belland. We are all celebrating with hats and sweaters. Kyle, who's on your sweater? And it's really, what do you call the sweaters that have buttons on?
Cardigan.
That I call these late-stage Republican Party cardigans.
Why are you wearing such a Christmassy sweater?
Same sweater on, and then
Yes.
Will Ferrell and Elf saying,
I know it.
I know it.
Mine is
Maybe Josh can clip from that for
Just what?
mine's a little similar to y'all's. So it's a bare-chested man with his nipples pierced.
I just saw you had some. That was your.
Yeah, you thought you thought I was getting ready for my shift at Abercrombie and Fitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that a lot. But we got some cool tats on here, and Amazon.com. Shout out.
Nice.
I like it. It's pretty hot.
Yeah, it's a little toasty.
Amanda, what do you have? You're on the naughty list.
Ooh, hello.
And Josh, you have Michael Jackson.
No, he has "Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow" by Scarface.
Okay, Scarface.
I like that.
Yeah,
Josh.
we got Kyle. Don't say that.
Josh, where did you get that from?
I like that.
Ross. Okay, so it's Josh. Josh wins, and he got his
Yeah. Do you love it? I love it. I got it at Ross.
dress for less. Okay, and Amanda has made some Dirty Verdict podcast pins and cookies.
Cookies. They're actually quite good.
We've got to start selling these, right? Like, we've got to start selling these on the Dirty Verdict.
On the line, like in the merch shop.
Yeah.
She was baking cookies and decorating them. So thank you, Amanda.
Hold on. That's not possible. Like, you didn't decorate these, did you? She bought them.
She had them made.
They're purchased.
However you want to say it. Okay, so what I thought, guys, as we close out the year, we do have some news stories to discuss that are recent, but also we've talked about several news stories over the course of the year, and I've done a little research to follow up to let everyone know where they are. So if that's cool with you, we'll start with the updates, and then we'll drop into some recent news.
I'm cool if you're cool.
If
I'm cooler than you, man.
So just like a separate pause for a second. So 2 weeks ago, I was in Breckenridge.
Oh, yeah.
Feels like a long second.
No one's like you, Bill. Since the very beginning, they wanted to kick you off, but I said no.
You know why? Because I have a talent for making people hate me.
No one likes.
No.
So this is no joke, I was at the City Market grocery store in Breckenridge, Colorado. And some guy walked up to me in the frozen food section.
Shut up.
And this is not a joke. And he said,
You're Bill's friend.
"You're Bill's friend.
You're Bill's co-host.
You're on the TVV. You're on the Dirty Verdict." It's like, this is weird. Like you're following me around.
Who?
Strange.
Who was it? Just a rando?
Random guy.
Lawyer?
I think his name was like Guillermo. Anyways, Guillermo, if you're out there, email us. We want to send you some swag.
And have him on the show.
Like, yeah, if you're not
100%, we would like to interview you.
Kyle, out of his own pocket, will pay to fly you first class to Houston from Colorado to be on the show.
And track us down by email or phone.
What did he say?
He said, "I watch your show all the time." And I said, "Bullshit. Our show's terrible." And she was like, "He makes me watch it all the time." I was like, okay. And
So Guillermo, you're invited.
Yeah, your standing invitation.
Or just send us your email address so we can send you some some swag.
Yeah, we got some shirts, some pins, we got a coffee mug.
And
I'm gonna auction off Bill's.
Me for a night. Me for a night.
Your sweater.
Oh, and I'll be in the sweater when you get it.
I will say this: the entire super fun situation about all this is my daughters, who are 13, and
Oh, they think you're so cool now?
this guy walked over and did it in front of them, and my 12-year-old was like, whatever.
Oh,
But the 10-year-old was like,
Dad made it.
so we walked back to the car. She goes, how many followers do you have? And I was like, 700. And she was like, that's so fresh.
You should have said more than you, nerd.
Yeah. And so, anyways, if you're out there,
Guillermo.
Yeah, we got you, Guillermo.
Guillermo, Dirty Riddick friends, track us down. We want to reward you for your love.
Or anyone else that sees Kyle at a grocery store, whether it's Breckenridge or Houston.
Yeah, or Telluride.
Yeah.
So to be fair, my second concern was that we had stalkers.
So I'll add to that and compound on that a little bit. So I went to Benny Augusto was kind enough to invite me to the Abraham Watkins Christmas party, and they rented out the Astro Stadium for it. Fantastic party. It was massive, but I walked in, and I don't know if it's because I'm that good looking, but everybody came up to me and was like, "Hey, I love when you guys bully on Pete on the air." And I was like, "Thank you for listening. Keep it up. Keep it up."
Nobody,
But I got a lot of compliments. A lot of people said, "Hey, I love the show. Keep it up. It's funny."
nobody loves Pete more than us.
But I
That's true.
I counted 6 people who came up to me and asked to be on the show.
Good.
So a lot of people are getting some buzz and they're like, "Hey, I this is like the step. You start making it in this career, then you go on the Dirty Verdict, then you make it. Then you've made it."
I don't want to sit here today and say that George Santos has committed to be on our show.
No, he can be. We just pay him cameo fee, and
No,
We can't share fees with him.
he wants to. Like, I'm not saying I haven't not definitely spoken to him,
on cameo.
but I'm not saying he's gonna be on the show, but he's almost certainly not gonna definitely be on the show.
I've got $400 that I'm donating into the pot for George Santos to wish the Dirty Verdict and Merry Christmas on Cameo.
I will commit
And then we're putting it on.
to at least $400 of American money that is probably money.
But we all have to wear a dress shirt with a tie, with a crew neck sweater over that, with a suit jacket over that.
No, I
We
disagree.
have to dress like him.
That's how you're going to dress. I'm going to wear
What?
a Yeshiva University volleyball singlet,
Singlet.
and then he's going to wear a Hasidic Jew uniform.
Did you already talk about George Santos while I was off air?
No, that was literally off the cuff odd.
Slowly
Okay.
getting into that.
I'm looking at his cameo page. It says $500.
Well, Kyle Pony's up 1, and I've got 4.
1, 2, 3,
No, you already have it. Yeah.
$500.
Okay.
Done. Go ahead and book it, Pete. Put it on your card. We'll pay you back.
He's got 72 reviews.
We've got to be. This is like, by the way, this made
Wait, hold on. Time. We can't get this far into the show and not acknowledge that Peter's offspring is in the college football playoffs. That's a big deal.
stunning.
When was the last time? Texas football has been shit until Michael Taft got into the secondary, and look at him now.
They were good, but I don't think we've been in the 14 playoff yet.
Ever.
And that was a pleasant. I don't. Some of today, I think when I woke up the morning of that last game, I didn't think it was a real possibility, and then things just kind of.
There are a number of 14-year-old young women and men that have never seen a good UT football team until Michael Taft got into that secondary. He has, what, 4 interceptions? 5 interceptions this year.
Only 3.
Only 3.
But they were, by the way, huge.
Yeah,
Huge interceptions.
He had a
In 3 consecutive games.
He has to get his athletic ability from his mom. So
Yeah, that's a no. I mean, that's not even in doubt. And competitiveness. That's the difference with him. He's very competitive and also very disciplined. So all these things.
just not you. Just
Not me at all.
we might need to do paternity test.
That's been recommended or requested by many of my friends.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to
And by that you mean your wife.
disagree with everything that you've said because I have kids that are similar to this who are.
What?
I have some female children who are fantastic, and nobody thinks that they're relating to me.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's we're all.
So
We're not all lucky. I've got a 9-year-old who's a doofus like his father.
So just to be fair, and give you the opportunity to be deferential and silly, like this is it's a fantastically big deal, right?
I think it will be. We'll see how it works. Like with the warm up or the lead up to the game, which is going to be in New Orleans at the Sugar Bowl, and
UT's got to be a favorite, right?
I think it's an open line was about 4.
Pick them.
Texas favorite, but it's obviously that team is awesome. The quarterback
Yeah, he's like 40.
Yeah.
Gotten much better than the last.
Is he related to the Penix that played for the Oilers? He's from Houston.
I don't know, but he, was a runner-up for the Heisman. A lot of people thought he should have won. He's excellent. They've got 3 NFL caliber receivers, including one that's probably going to be drafted in the first round.
All right, so
And of course, one of our safeties, who's the freshman out for the first phenom, is out for the first half. So it's going to be a challenge.
Where are you sitting for the game? Kyle and I we've got secure tickets in a suite, so we will be there.
we actually.
Yep, Kyle's in. Yes, Cliff, book it. Kyle's in.
Nice. And George Santos with y'all.
Sure, yeah, of course. Where else is he going to sit?
I don't know where our tickets are. They're apparently in high demand, from what I can tell.
Yeah, they are.
So we've been through all this, Peter. Are you like you're a lifelong Texas fan?
Yep.
Lifelong following your kid.
Yeah, lifelong fan of your kid.
Is your head just like ready to explode? And like be cool, pretend it's not. Like it's got to be like incredible.
Yeah, no, it is great. I'm very proud of him because he really, it's like one of those 10-year overnight successes things where he has worked his tail off, and I'm happy for him. I'm happy for the team. They've got you hear this, but they have a very good team culture. They're all very diligent, very focused on football, and so that and a lot of good things happen for him this year.
Well, if you want to join the suite, let me know off air, and we'll get you. We got a couple weeks. We got some room there.
Well, but it's
One of them guys singing New Orleans because maybe me and Bill.
that's undisclosed location.
You're not that famous, dude.
We're staying at the Roosevelt.
Oh, don't tell us that we have to stay at the Roosevelt.
Well, Kyle, I know where we're staying now.
Yeah.
We're gonna air this after the game, so I don't want to sound like super cheesy, but like
No, it's a good. We went actually when the last time Texas played in the Sugar Bowl. Sam Ellinger was a quarterback, so that's our good family friends. So we had a nice group from Westlake that all went to the game, had a New Year's Eve
Nice.
all together. And Michael, my son, who was in 8th grade at the time, was there, and talked to Sam afterwards and saw how that all went. So it'll be cool to come back to the scene, and we had a good result the last time, and see if we can do it again this time.
well, I met Michael. I think when he was
5th grade, probably.
like 6th or 7th grade.
I haven't met him, but we talk on Instagram all the time.
It's like the coolest kid. Like hope he does great, and obviously I don't like you.
Back to the legal story.
Wife is super nice.
She's great. And I don't know what I'm just along for the ride.
All right, let's go over some news.
Yeah, so we've covered those things. News stories, updates.
Yep.
Okay, so we roundtabled amongst ourselves what were some of the interesting ones to be checked on. Y'all said the dog poop toy, which was a trade.
Come on, Pete. It was a classic. It was a family show.
That was one that you talked about for like 8 episodes.
First of all, it was low-hanging fruit. Second of all, there can't be much follow-up. It was a U.S. Supreme Court decision.
That's right. So that was a case, as you may recall, where Jack Daniels, the entity that runs the liquor company, sued a little novelty company that made it was like a dog toy, and it was called like Flack Spaniels or something like that. It was a little dog toy that looked like a piece of poop, I guess. And they were sued by Jack Daniels. Supreme Court, the issue was the Supreme Court
Likeness.
Yeah, they modify, or they said that the certain test didn't apply that would have given that kind of like parody is you can do whatever you want of your parody, and
They said they didn't take it and make it enough of their own to then make profit off of it.
So the issue was that the small company had gotten the case dismissed under this kind of parody thing. The Supreme Court said no, that's too broad, but there still could be some issues about whether it's close enough or it's that kind of thing.
I always think of it like when I hear cases like that, I always think of SNL.
Yeah,
because that's all they do. So there is a line there. I don't do enough of that area of law to know where that line is and not to cross it.
You guys are. There was like trading cards you could buy when I was a little kid where it was like Cracked, it was called Cracked, where they would make fun of products, and I don't know if there was any lawsuits about that.
No, but that sounds like an awesome thing. I want to start a trading. I'm going to do the Mitsubishi 3000 GT.
Yeah.
I'm going to do every tire that Cooper Tires ever made prior to 2010. We could do Ford Pinto.
Mm-hmm.
We can do the Ford Explorer Firestone, which is all the defective products. We'll make trading cards for them. Sounds fun.
Good. Well, when I was doing, talking about, that's when you could like smoke on airplanes.
Yeah, you like open up a pack, you're like, oh, I got fin, nice.
Yeah.
You know, they're breast implants from the 90s.
Yeah, so bring them back.
Yeah, I'm bringing that back for sure.
They come back.
Legal trading cards.
Excellent. Sophie Dahl was the woman who is related to, is it
Raoul Dahl's daughter. They're not just related, they share the same blood.
And, she stayed at La Colombe d'Or Hotel, which is very nice, and overstayed her deposit amount, and so they had tried to get her out. They could never serve her, even though they had a pretty good idea where she was.
So what happened at the end?
The case was what they call DWOPed for the non-lawyers out there. That means dismissed
For wands
of prosecution, meaning
So the defendant just like abandoned ship?
the plaintiff could never get her served, and the court just
is she still there?
no telling.
We gotta go. We gotta go there. Where are we going to dinner for the Christmas party?
Column, baby.
Column door. Yeah, we're going to Column door.
Okay, next one. We had Paul Skrabranek on to talk about the
Oh, that Arby's case. That was
Arby's case.
horrible.
where the worker from Houston had gone over to Louisiana Arby's and had because of some allegedly defective latches on the freezer, had gotten locked in the freezer and died.
Rose to death.
I think we discussed whether the defendant would file a form nonconvenience motion.
I thought so for sure.
They didn't.
No.
Did not, and so I can't remember the lawyers, but whoever it was a very good defense firm that clearly made us. Yeah, I mean, it's not like they didn't know about form nonconvenience or something. So they didn't file one. So that case is blowing and going. Next one is your partner Wes Ball's case against StubHub.
Yes, technically Westball is the plaintiff, but the case actually belongs to an up-and-coming, brilliant legal mind that we have already offered a job to at our firm. She's a law student, and she actually thinks she's going to come on after the first year. Her name's Sam Sweeten. She's fantastic, and she got hired by me because she had the worst interview of all time. True story.
Were y'all being kind of like us?
It was just me and her. And I wasn't. I was actually like I started it off as a formal interview, and I was like, what's your least, what's your strongest subject? She's like, criminal law. I was like, what's your least strongest? And she's like, oh, torts. I was like, lie to me.
You know what you...
I told her, lie to me. I was like, all right, well, which subject do you dislike the most? And she's like, oh, easy, legal research and writing. I was like, 0 for 2. And it just spiraled down from there in a hilarious way. And by the end of it, I was like, you're too honest for me not to give you a chance. And I did, and she turned out to be way smarter than me. So cheers to her. She's got a job waiting for her when she graduates.
It's not hard for her.
And I didn't have it. I worked for a year and a half at that firm. Did not have a job when I was waiting for me. I had to wait until 2 weeks before the bar results came in.
No.
Okay. It does. This is a reminder. This is public. It's not like we're asking Bill to give up any private information. As we reported, the appellate court had denied StubHub's motion to compel arbitration.
Yes.
And so as y'all know, as you lawyers know, even after the intermediate appellate court rules, the losing party has a right to file a petition with the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court takes what, like less than 20% of
20 at 5?
Okay, yeah, it's
Like very low amount.
But in this case, the defendants did not seek relief with the Supreme Court, and so mandate was issued, meaning the appellate court told the state court proceed with this case, and so that was as of November.
So it's been moving forward with discovery.
Yeah, it's back in business. Okay, the rapper Takeoff death case where he was killed at
The bowling alley downtown.
Yeah.
He goes,
That's blowing and going. Multiple defendants, several lawyers advanced
civil
case.
Who's the defendants? I didn't know there was a civil case. I knew the criminal side was.
No, it's like the facility owner.
Premise side.
Everyone. And so numerous good defense lawyers. I can't remember, except I did note that friend of the show, Chaz Clace, is one of the...
He represents a bowling alley, right? Or the property owner that they lease from, something like that?
I want to say he represented Midway, which I don't know if that's the developer or the manager.
I think it's the operator, but...
Got Chaz.
Whoever it is, it's the one that's going to be well represented.
If there was ever a defense lawyer I wanted to punch in the face, he'd be, I don't know, bottom 3, because he was really nice.
Yeah. And it's a
Sweet fella.
Currently, until someone else takes the throne, he is the sole defense lawyer, civil defense lawyer, I think that's going to happen.
For now, but we've got one booked for a couple weeks from now. Not yet. I'm not going to spoil a surprise.
Okay.
And he's a huge Springsteen fan.
All right.
Flies all over the world for it.
All right. Next one we talked about. Remember, there was a socialite. I think the press called.
Oh, that killed somebody in the drunk driving?
Allegedly drunk driving.
Oh, alleged, yeah.
There's a man and a woman, and they were on their first date.
God.
Romantic, and they're holding hands. And according to reports, car comes streaming down Westheimer, loses control, hits them. I think one died. The other one was.
I think he died in like her arms.
Yeah. So that case is going. And the only thing I noted was that can give you all some legal, a forum to talk law is there's a criminal case against the driver. And then there's also a civil case against the driver, the owner of the car, and different bars that she had allegedly been at before this. But there was a motion, there were some admissions. Admit you were drunk, admit you'd been drinking, admit you'd drank 8 drinks or whatever. And the defense lawyer had filed a motion for protection and then cross motion to compel from the plaintiff, hey, judge, make her answer these admissions. And the judge, I can't remember which one, it's in Harris County, granted protection. So the defendant had said, look, I've got my rights against self-incrimination. I'm a defendant in this.
You don't need protection. You just plead the fifth in your answer.
But in any event, that was an interesting ruling. Have you all had that come up where you've got a civil case and then...
Yeah, it's my $70 million Anna Weed case that's going to be, and I actually recorded a few weeks ago, and it'll be the pilot episode of a new series on Oxygen. It's either Knives with Wives or Neighbors with Guns or whatever they want to call the series. They don't have a name yet, but will be the pilot episode.
It's like fight or flight. But
yeah, but there's a murder case going at the same time as us, and I actually, because and if the plaintiff's lawyers in that case are out there, check the criminal docket when if you do get stayed, which you probably will. On the civil,
Get stayed because
we
won't let the criminal case.
Right, it'll likely be stayed, and if it is, I would every 6 months do a status conference, and day before the status conference, pull the criminal docket and see who's asking for all the resets.
Okay.
And if they are, I think that gives you ammo to go in and then make an argument that your Texas constitutional 7th Amendment right is being violated if they're the ones resetting the criminal side and you're being stayed because of it. So that's how I got around it, and I tried the civil case before the criminal. But, to each his own.
And Bill, just so we know, so that was a case where the neighbor, there's some neighbors that didn't like each other already, and there was a party, and one neighbor came over and ultimately shot.
the calculus with the judge.
Yeah, well, we talked about it with Anthony also last week, or last episode.
Yeah, we did. You weren't here, Kyle. You were too busy skiing.
You haven't listened to it.
I was just too busy raising children.
Rearing children into adulthood.
Kyle, by the way, did you make it out of Breckenridge with all...
Yeah, you're not even injured. You don't even look like you've been on to Colorado.
Guys, all joking aside, I had this ski trip with my girls. We skied for 2 days, then we just hung out and skated for several more days. It's the most fun I've ever had.
Did you like one of them more than the other?
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't ask which one. We know it's the younger one.
They know, but to be fair, they know which one.
Yeah, that's fair.
Bill, the case or the show you said is on Auction Network. When is this going to come out?
It'll be in March, and that is actually, we just got word not too long ago, and I don't know if we're supposed to break this or not, but we're going to. The HBO documentary crew that followed us, me and my firm and I, around for 2 years during the Ox Jones case.
Awesome.
That documentary will be out on HBO and HBO Max.
That's going to be super sexy.
Also, sometime in March.
I might be on that.
There's a chance that you may be having... you might get nominated for Best Supporting Role.
Not at all.
Because you watched a little bit of person.
He came up with a couple of really good
zingers.
Well, so we had this picture that Jones and his team or in his company had posted of the judge on fire, and there was a clip of him calling the jury blue collar, simpletons that don't know what planet they're on. That's kind of summary of it. And we couldn't figure out how to make it relevant. And then, bring in this doofus. And he just said, in the calmest way possible, too, he was like, why don't you just ask if he's taking it serious? And I was like, what? And we all kind of looked at each other, and that was literally the question that Mark Bankson asked. He said, are you taking this trial serious? Jones said yes. He goes, all right, well, let's see how serious you're taking it. And we started throwing up. We got to play a video of the defendant telling that jury that they didn't know what planet they were on because they were dumb, like in the middle of trial. So that was kind of a fun thing, and my firm thanks Kyle greatly.
All right. So
It's always fun to collaborate with good boys.
For that, when the case pays, Kyle's getting a Tesla truck. Why? Because no one wants a Tesla truck.
I'm absolutely going to get a $100 gift card
to Texas Roadhouse
Academy to buy 99 pairs of tube socks.
While we're catching up on the year,
Yeah.
I think we can go over some of our more favorite guests.
We should.
I've got one that I think might be the nicest person that we've ever had on the show.
okay. Shoot.
And I mean this with all due respect to Judge Milo, but I think the nicest person we've had on the show might be Jacob Karam. He is such a good guy.
Great fella.
And his wife came and she brought us tequila and she was like super pregnant. And now they have a new baby.
She said,
That's great.
we recorded.
Yeah.
We walked out and she was like, thank you guys
Here's tequila and snacks.
for having us on. Could you just drink all this booze? And I was like, we shouldn't. And then you were like,
We should. Yeah, he was great.
Obviously, Jacob was great. Now, I think Rebecca Milo is probably the most watched clip.
So, yeah, how many times? So that clip that we have that went a little viral. How many times do you think that's been watched? Guess. I know because I talked to him before the show.
Okay.
100, like 1,000 times.
43,000.
92,000 times that's been viewed. True story. 3,000. We had like 3,700 comments.
I want to talk to you guys.
Like it is a viral clip.
Like, how do I reconcile that with, like, my fans?
I think step one would be you have to bleach your tips.
Like, my OnlyFans page, I have like 7 followers.
Yeah, but it's all feet.
No, it's not true.
That's going to change after they see some of this video.
Yeah.
I think it's mostly Pete's wife's stuff.
It's October. Yeah, the Halloween. They see your Halloween outfit and this outfit.
Yeah, that's true. You are catering to a furry crowd, Kyle. And we're gonna be honest. No one thinks it was an accident.
Okay, I'll add one to this guest. Your friend, the family lawyer.
Oh, Caitlin Thorpe.
Very good.
Caitlin Thorpe.
I've told people who.
She's gotten a lot of business from this show, by the way.
Happy?
Yeah, I've seen at least, I don't know, 7, 8 cases already.
Well, I've told
And a couple lawyers have reached out that saw it.
non-lawyers who are like ever ask a question about family law. I say listen to that because that is like the most
True. 101. Yep.
interview as far as how things really work in family law. And it was just like, I mean, you're probably gonna have to listen to it like 3 or 4 times because it was coming fast.
All the criminal lawyers, they just have badass stories because they do criminal cases.
With Ray Schaefer.
Shaver. We had Mikey Wynn.
Like incredible guests.
We're not even touching on the Godfather, the mayor of Texas bar politics, Benny Augusto. He was great.
Yep.
Fibbage.
Fibbage.
He was
We
fantastic.
had a good mix of kind of
Old school, new school. Yeah.
very people and then younger people and practice groups. Now I would love to get more like a probate kind of trust and estates guy.
I've got one.
There's questions, but he's more
Ad
a
hoc.
PI, plaintiff's lawyer.
I've got a probate. I've got somebody that does a lot of it. Also estate planning, which is very different than just probate. But it's Josh Flores. We'll see if we can get him on.
That would be good, and I think an entertaining bankruptcy lawyer would be good.
I've got a number of those.
I'm not gonna lie.
You're saying that's a unicorn?
I say bankruptcy lawyer. I think does the laughs ever stop?
I know a couple.
And it's a Joe after another.
Our Alex Jones team, the Aiken Gum team, Marty Bremich would be great. Phil Dublin would be great.
Yeah,
I can ask those guys.
Those are the high end. I'm talking about maybe the ones that do individuals, so we could provide.
They'd have better stories.
They have good stories, and they would provide good, helpful information to.
Just like a shocking amount of fun.
Yes, but more interesting stories too. Okay, you want to go back to the update?
So to be like for a hold. Our dinner reservation is at 7:15.
Okay, so Pete, do you know where we're going to dinner?
We're having our team party.
Yeah, dude, we're having a dinner after this. No, Pete. So prior to today, we did not know that something was going to happen to change it, but we booked a table right next to yours that we're going to Georgia James and I, which is where Pete's mediation company was having their party tonight. We were going to go and show up drunk.
Holly had to reset it, and so I was looking forward to the Blues Brothers restaurant scene that I sent y'all.
We're going to destroy something at
Yeah.
Dr. James.
Yeah.
For all the investigators,
Our livers.
it's going to be bad.
Okay, so we'll go quick. Next one was remember there was a Grotto shooting case?
Yes.
I think a New Orleans off-duty police officer. Or
Yes.
just
It was the grotto downtown, right?
no, I think the one over here in Post Oak.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. You're right.
And so there's a suit against the Landry's company that runs Grotto, and
It's probably still ongoing.
that's still ongoing. Remember, Rusty Harden represented the plaintiff. I think there's a couple other lawyers involved, and then multiple good defense lawyers, and that's steaming ahead. They've asked for a preferential setting in April.
Oh, so they're ready. They want to go.
Yeah, the judge has not ruled on that yet. Okay, next case. There was a guy that worked for as a baggage handler or something, and he got
Yeah, he sucked into the jet.
At the and or jumped into it.
yeah. It was later.
That was
And that's it was reported that it was probably a suicide. I don't know if it was defined that way. Well, remember a passenger on one of the planes saw it and filed suit against the man's estate
Infliction
and
of
it is his employer.
probably just a zone of danger case.
We weren't sure. I looked online, couldn't get the petition because it was in Bexar County. You can just get
Is there video of it? Surely there is. Like, I don't know. I don't know what happens inside of a jet engine. Is it like a wood chipper? Like, what happens?
I think you just get sucked in and your head gets chopped off.
But where does it go after that? Does it stay in there or does it go out the back? I don't know how this works. I don't like,
Isn't there like an Indiana Jones movie where something like that happened?
Yes.
what? They had jet engines back then?
No, that was Miller.
First Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
But that case, the defendant company removed it, I'm sure on diversity, and they said the estate was a fraudulently joined plaintiff to defeat diversity,
Yeah.
which is a lot more law than anyone cares to hear.
Makes
But it's staying in federal court. The plaintiff did not move to remand it, and that is moving forward. Okay, next one. I think Amanda asked about this one because she's a constitutional scholar. The law, Texas law that was recently passed that required people who were going on certain websites to register, and by certain I mean.
Oh, you had to get an age verification for pornography, right?
And so,
Wait, Amanda was asking about that?
well, she's a constitutional scholar. I mean,
Is that what that's how we're going to word it?
she's a.
But also so Bill's super into porn.
No, wait, first of all, I'm not super in.
I had
just
to
in.
bring this one up, but it is interesting because I was looking on
Porn.
the federal judge had issued an injunction to stop that law from going into place.
As they should for smut.
And then that was
Disgusting.
appealed by the state, but the case is still ongoing. They didn't ask for a stay, which is a lot of times when appeal happens. So there's actually a scheduling conference tomorrow at 3 p.m. So
Where be logged on
it's either in Austin or
to the porn.
I think it's in Austin, maybe San Antonio.
Does this affect people like Kyle that pay monthly for like the premium stuff?
What in the great wide retard world is
Oh, we can't say that word.
Drop that.
Can't say that word.
what in the great wide world?
You have to say, what in the great way world of intellectually disabled humans?
Cop it all. There you go. Okay, so
We skip it. We don't even let him finish.
okay, couple quick updated.
I'm just trying to make sure that the GOP makes sure that we can't look at pornography.
All right. So there's a new lawsuit between the co-creator and showrunner Taylor Sheridan of Fan and Cole Hauser, who played the fan favorite murderous yet romantic Rip, which is how a lot of people call Kyle, refer to Kyle. So this.
Wait, time. Let's back up. If this was Yellowstone, Kyle, let's be honest. You're Jamie. All right. I'm Rick.
That's fair.
And Pete's Mr. Dutton.
Okay, I'll take it.
Kevin Costner. That wasn't slide on you. That's a good one. Yeah.
So Sheridan has something called the Boss Grant. Cole Hauser has a coffee company, and Sheridan thinks that Cole's coffee company logo is too close to his logo.
So I saw this story and I scrolled down. I don't know if it's in that one.
Yeah.
But if you scroll down, they look a lot alike. The logos look a lot alike.
So that's new, and that's in federal court. And it's,
Weird that they're suing each other though.
yeah, it's kind of, that'd be a little awkward.
Rip and his crew had to have invested so much money in production that it would have been so much to take that logo out of what they'd already made. So they were dug in, and Taylor, I guess, was like, "Hey, I don't care how much money you make me on my show, because
It's like $100 million a year now.
I think he was already pretty rich, anyways."
Yeah, like he could coach at A&M for like 5 years and it wouldn't make any difference.
Yeah, he could not coach at A&M for 5 years and it wouldn't make any difference. And that's $75 million.
He could coach for $25 million and then not coach for like $100 million, then it would be the same.
Because am I right that Jimbo Fisher's contract does not have a mitigation clause?
Not at all.
Okay, so
It is a payment upon demand contract.
so that means no matter whether he,
They will be paying him to get paid to play against.
So he got paid $25 million to coach there for like 5 years. Then he gets paid another 79 million bucks to not, whatever it is, the number.
to just leave us alone.
but he can do anything he wants, and it does not, any money he makes does not offset that 79 million, which is what a mitigation clause usually.
There is no
This
mitigation.
is Cliff Kingsbury all over. This is Cliff Kingsbury 2.0.
The Texas Tech Red Raiders could hire him because all things run through Lubbock to coach there for $300 million next year, and then A&M pays him on top. It's like this like sweet frosting of like bad decisions.
And you know what people describe as sweet frosting of bad decisions? Waco, Texas. Did you know that?
No, I thought something that I'm familiar with.
Yep, Baylor College.
I didn't. There was multiple, obviously, Baylor stories, but I wanted to keep this short and probably help Josh on his editing as much as I could.
Start
Yeah,
Ender
if-
starts in 4 minutes.
If we started talking about Baylor, we're going to be here a while.
All right, we've got. I'll be quick. Former Dash coach filed a defamation lawsuit against a bunch of law firms and the NWSL.
The national women's team,
No, yeah, but it's the
Houston Dash women's professional soccer.
team.
Gotcha.
58-page petition, very detailed. There's some allegations of some, I don't know if it was abuse or it was just like yelling, what it was. Ultimately, I think it was a term of the,
Damn it, Bill.
yeah, like,
I've never loved you.
I'm going to say this.
And I'm upset about your parentage.
Thank you.
Yeah. So anyhow, he's filed that case. That was recent. I was looking because I was like, I wonder who the plaintiff's lawyer is. Is it Bill?
It is not, but 58-page petition. So there's law firms as named defendants, and from what I didn't get to do a lot of research on this one, but is it that those law firms were hired to do independent investigation into the allegations, and then based on their findings,
Yes.
that's where the defamation started? Okay.
Didn't that happen? Did Pepper Hamilton and
Yep.
sorry to get back into Waco, but in the Baylor thing, were they sued for anything they?
I don't know. Well, so I don't.
I think Pepper Hamilton won the Outland Trophy at Baylor. I'm not 100% sure about that.
It's a great name.
Yeah,
They were
nice joke. Baylor's never won a trophy.
the famous report and gave the
Yeah, they're the New Age. Who did the investigation? Ken Lay? Wasn't he an investigator of
something
something?
was the former FBI director. I can't remember his name, but he was in that phase where there was all kinds of investigations. You'd get that guy
You mean at Baylor?
I thought he was a Baylor guy.
all over the
Not Ken Lay.
Oh,
It's
Lewis. I can't remember his first name was Lewis. Anyhow, okay, quick one. I thought this was interesting. Tesla is facing a prospective class action lawsuit. They have an insurance unit. I don't have a Tesla, but apparently they've set up their own insurance company,
yeah, I got some of these.
and they say,
I think you've signed an NDA to where you can't say that you've got some.
yeah, well, don't say anything, Kyle, but
Like Uber
at
case.
least according to the lawsuit, Tesla apparently goes to their customers and said, look, we can give you much cheaper insurance because we have so many of these data collection points on our car, since we know everything that you're doing, that we can really underwrite your risk to a T much better, because you'll use Allstate, like put this in your car and we'll give you better rates if you have a safe driving distance.
Well, Tesla knows whether or not you have a safe driving, not just accident wise, but in general, speeding wise and lane change wise, all of it. They have all that data. So
Yeah. And so apparently, according to this lawsuit, one of the metrics is how many forward collision warnings you get, where you're too close. And this plaintiff is saying, when we got our underwriting info, you said we had a lot more forward forward collision warnings than we actually had, and so you charged more in premiums based on that, and that wasn't cool. So class action, of course, everything is very very specific. It's hard.
I think that this is very interesting because when you're now bringing in 641, 642, you're bringing in bad faith of insurance companies and their coverage against it, and so if they are penalizing you for data they have that are accusations and not convictions, because if you plead no contest to a ticket, your insurance company doesn't get to raise your rates on that. Typically, if you do a defensive drive, if you get charged, you do defensive driving, it comes down, your insurance doesn't go up. But they've got an unfair advantage because they get to have this data point and then they get to interpret whether or not that was your bad driving versus you getting cut off, or versus you're just a person that likes to brake later than others.
Good, yeah.
It's very interesting.
It is. And, technically in any kind of class action, Kyle's interesting.
Wow, chicken, wow.
Have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen that video of Tracy Morgan? He's on an El Paso station and he's been drinking all night and he shows up. Okay, I'll send that.
I like that.
To y'all. Okay, quick hitters in. New Mexico lawsuit. We're accusing Meta of being a child exploitation paradise for bad actors.
Well, they got a bunch of kiddie porn in the metaverse?
Yeah, he's saying it. I think Instagram is the allegation is much more friendly to.
Oh, Meta the company. Okay.
To charge Lemonade. Panera has charged Lemonade. Second lawsuit filed. Apparently, it's got tons of caffeine. Be careful for you.
Lemonade's got caffeine in it?
Causing heart attacks.
Allegedly. And then the last.
Know something about this.
The GOP has sued a lawyer who allegedly told them that they could establish that there was voter fraud, and that was not the case, and the case got thrown out.
Sydney.
They're suing. No, it's the Texas-based people, and we're not going to say them. So that was it. That was our quick hitters. So Dirty Verdict, friends and family, we wish you all a very Merry Christmas.
We'll see you. We'll see you next year. And if you're not doing anything New Year's Day, tune in and watch Peter's Offspring do his thing.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Mike, what's that? Super amazing.
All right. Thank you.
Roll Tide.
Yeah. And then we'll
That's what they say.
hopefully be back on December. Did we say we're going to do it December 9th, regardless of if Texas is playing or not? We're going to be ready to go.
What do? They go Roll Tide and they do that? What is it? Is that what they'll do, Colin?
I don't know, but they're
Texas Tech stuff.
they're good. Well, all right. We're going to close out.
Be that.
Yeah, we're going to close out.
Great year. Thanks for watching.
Happy New Year. Good night.
Could have been worse. Could have been a lot worse.